Welcome back. Okay, so I thought I would take a moment to kind of show you a little bit on how to edit an STL file. I do this all the time, customizing components for the various quads that I have and build, and just tinkering with things that make them just work a little bit better or work the way I want them to. And a local pilot buddy of mine named Showdown, he's asked for a gimbal protector for his Mambo, and he's asked for his name on it. So I figured I would just take a minute and I would kind of show you how to do it. It's pretty simple, but you can go to Thingiverse and you can find all kinds of STL files. Here's the one I'll be using right now. You just click on it, go down to 10 thing files. You can see here's different versions. Find the file that you want, download it, import, choose file, Mambo protector, and you can import the file here. Now it's ready to print. You don't have to import it into Tinkercad, but if you want to edit it any, here's a simple process. So you got it in. Let's go ahead and get rid of this logo. Let's change this from 1 millimeter to 0.1 millimeter. Excuse me. A little bit more fine tuning capabilities this way. Just get it as close as possible to the surface. Drag it over here so I can cover all the ears. Now, this is a hole. You can see selected here. You've got holes and you've got solids. A hole subtracts, solids add. So now that we've got this cube positioned where we want it, we'll come up here we'll select it all, come up here to this group function, click on that. It will slice off most of this logo. Now, as you can see, there's still a little bit here that we just can't quite get down to the very edge of it. And if you did, you'd then have a square. So one way or the other, you're going to have markings because this isn't a fresh design. This is an edit. So to work that, we're gonna create a new layer here, and then we will then import the pilot name from my buddy Showdown, who is wanting this. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take this, and as you can see, there's edges. This isn't completely round. To make this more smooth, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to come up here, copy, paste, gives me a second version. Now using the arrow keys, I'm going to slide it over. So they're centered up. And then I'm going to rotate this 5 degrees. I'm going to grab both of them, and I'm going to come up here and group. Now you can see these little squares are a little bit smaller already. So then we're going to copy, do the same thing, slide it back over till it's right on top of each other. We're going to rotate it another 5 degrees. Grab all of it, group that together. And there's a set number of times you can do this at the right number of degrees, and you can get it perfectly smooth. I prefer to just do it about 3 times. It's going to be smooth enough for what we're wanting to do. I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees. I'm going to drag it out, and I'm going to lower it. Actually, I want to flip it back the other way. All right, so let's raise this up. Let's drag this over here. Just to the tip. All right, let's lower it in. All right, that's pretty well centered up. Let's make this a hole so we can see how deep. Okay, so yeah, it went in plenty of depth so that it will fuse together. If it's just resting on top, it will, when you group, it will be two different pieces. And when you go to print, you'll actually be trying to print two pieces, one just slightly hovering over the other, and your printer will not do a good job. So we want to make a flat, surface here. Let's bring this in so I don't chop off anything that I don't want to. All right, so let's highlight all of this. Let's group. All right, so now we've got this nice little raised spot that we should be able to center his pilot name in. So pilot name. So real simple. You can go to Word, expand up to 72, font, whatever font you want. We can come down and you can choose any font that you would like. Since we're in Arkansas, I'm going to see if I can go with this NCAA font. Is it going to make me do all caps? Let's try this one. All right. So now you've got this red line here. So we're just going to click ignore all. So move the cursor out of the way. And then we're going to go to our snipping tool. So if you don't know how to find it, you can just type in your search bar and it will pop up. I have mine down here because I use it all the time, but you just click on it. And this little app comes default in Microsoft, and it will allow you to take a screen capture, a JPEG of whatever's on your screen. So here's a logo. So we're going to hit File, Save As, Desktop. I'm going to save over that one. You can see it's a JPEG. Yes. Now we're done with that. We can close both of those out. All right. So the next little tool we need is we need to convert the JPEG into SVG file. And you can see here image.online-convert.com. You'll come up to this page, and I'll put the link in the YouTube description for you. But we're just going to choose the file. We're going to find the desktop, showdown. It's going to upload that file. We're going to hit start. Let this process. We're going to hit download. How to 1. Now we're done with this page as well. Next step, import. Choose file, downloads, how to SVG. We're going to leave it as artboard. We're going to hit import. It'll take just a second to do this. And boom, look at there. Now you have the word that you want, the pilot name that you want, in any font out there. you're not stuck with the 3 fonts that Tinkercad gives you. The way we resize this is we're going to hold down the Shift key. We're going to click onto this corner box and drag to approximate. We'll bring it over. We're going to zoom in, repeat that step. Raise it. Let's thicken this up because we're going to need to recess this in just a second. Let's get about right. Let's start to lower it in. Okay. Now let's take a look. Using the arrow keys. Looks good. Okay, now the way we're going to recess his name is we're going to click on his name. Right now you can see the circle, it's a solid. We're going to change it to a hole. I think you probably can start figuring out what's going to happen now. We're going to highlight everything, group this one more time. And voila. That is how you can import any font that you want to use for any file that you want, and you're not limited to the 4 fonts in Tinkercad. If you found this interesting, if you found this helpful, please hit a like and a subscribe. I plan on doing some more of these. As you can see here, let me come back to my page. I have, I'm on 4 pages now, and I do all kinds of edits and designing for various needs. I'm gonna start sharing a lot of these things that I'm working on. Here's for an Action 2, and with the Sonic Care frame from FPV Cycle, couch, Action 2 couch that Philip Hyde asked for, the DJI, just all kinds of stuff. As I tinker around with these things and start to designing things, some from scratch, some from edits of STL files, I'm gonna start sharing these with y'all so that you too can figure out how to make things work a little bit better for your particular builds. And with that said, hope you liked it. Peace out.